Italy, a land of passion, artistry, and breathtaking design. Today we're uncovering 5 stunning machines that once roared with the spirit of Italian engineering, but have since faded from the spotlight. Born in the mid-1970s, this car was a bit of a rebel, defying the front-wheel drive trend by adopting a proper mid-engine rear-wheel drive configuration, which immediately set it apart. The Beta Monte Carlo, later simply known as the Lancia Monte Carlo from 1980 to 1981, was initially intended as a Fiat project, but found its home under the Lancia badge. This Pininfarina-designed beauty boasted sleek, contemporary styling with a distinctive squared-off nose and tail, and those iconic flying buttresses flanking the rear window, a design element that, for me, screams 70s Italian flair. Under the hood, or rather just behind the driver, you'd find a 2000cc Lampredi inline-4 engine with a twin-cam setup. This spirited little unit produced a respectable 120 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque, while not earth-shattering figures, especially considering the oil crisis of the time, which led to a smaller engine than the initially planned 3-liter V6. The market reception was initially positive, with its sporty looks and mid-engine layout attracting attention. It even made its way to the US market in 1976 and 1977 as the Lancia Scorpion, a name change to avoid conflict with the Chevrolet Monte Carlo. However, the US version had to comply with stricter emission regulations, resulting in a smaller 1.8-liter engine producing a modest 81 horsepower. Beyond its road car credentials, it also had a successful motorsport career. The Monte Carlo Turbo dominated the World Championship for makes in the early 80s, proving its performance potential on the track. In total, around 7,800 units were produced across both series, making it a relatively rare car today. Now let's talk about a truly underrated gem from the late 90s, the Fiat Coupe. Imagine this. A sharply creased body, that distinctive body-colored metal strip wrapping around the cabin, and those quad headlights giving it a truly unique face. It was a design that screamed, "Look at me," and in my opinion, it still holds up remarkably well today. Under the hood, Fiat offered a range of engines. You could find a 1.8-liter 16-valve producing around 131 horsepower, a naturally aspirated 2-liter 20-valve with about 147 horsepower, and the real star of the show, the 2-liter turbo. This turbocharged 5-cylinder beast churned out 220 horsepower, capable of launching to 60 miles per hour in around 6.3 seconds and hitting a top speed of up to 155 miles per hour. That's supercar performance on a budget, and it truly made the coupe a poor man's Ferrari in the eyes of many enthusiasts. While its chassis, based on a modified Fiat Tipo platform, wasn't as sophisticated as some of its rivals like the Alfa Romeo GTV, it offered good handling with limited body roll and plenty of grip. Competitors at the time included the Toyota MR2, Alfa Romeo GTV, and Volkswagen Corrado VR6. While some of these offered more refined handling, the Fiat Coupe often trumped them in terms of sheer performance for the price. It was generally well received in the market, praised for its striking design and impressive performance, especially the turbo models. Although production ended in 2000, it remains a fondly remembered and an increasingly appreciated modern classic. The Maserati 3200 GT, produced from 1998 to 2002, was a true testament to Italian flair and engineering. Designed by the legendary Giorgetto Giugiaro, it boasted a stunning coupe body with a drag coefficient of just 0.34. Its sleek lines and the distinctive boomerang rear lights made it instantly recognizable, and, in my opinion, a design that has aged beautifully. Under the hood, it packed a potent 3.2-liter AM585 twin-turbocharged V8 engine, a direct descendant of the one found in the Quattroporte Evoluzione, but tuned to deliver a more thrilling 365 horsepower and 362 pound-feet of torque. This meant that the manual version could sprint to 60 miles per hour in a brisk 5.2 seconds and reach a top speed of 174 miles per hour. It was primarily sold in Europe and aimed to compete with rivals like the Jaguar XKR and the Porsche 996 Carrera. Interestingly, despite its sleek appearance, it was longer and wider than the Porsche, offering surprisingly spacious interiors, a feat its competitors couldn't always boast. While it was initially intended to be named Mistral, Maserati had to change it due to Volkswagen owning the rights to the name. Instead, they honored their heritage by calling it the 3200 GT, reminiscent of the classic 3500 GT. Production numbers were relatively limited, and this exclusivity, combined with its stunning design and powerful engine, makes this Maserati a truly special and an often overlooked piece of Italian automotive history. When we talk about Italian sports cars, names like Ferrari and Lamborghini often steal the spotlight. But let me tell you, the Fiat 2000 Spider deserves a place in the conversation. This beauty was essentially the final iteration of the Fiat 124 Sport, a car with a lineage stretching back to the mid-1960s. By the time the 81 and 82 models rolled around, it had matured into a sophisticated and an enjoyable roadster. Under the hood, you'd typically find a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with around 102 horsepower, and the turbocharged versions boasted around 120. This wasn't going to set any land speed records, with 0 to 60 times hovering around the 9-second mark, but it provided enough grunt for a spirited drive. What made it truly special, in my opinion, was its Pininfarina-designed body. Even in its final years, the classic lines and elegant proportions remained captivating. It had a dedicated following, particularly in North America, which was its primary market. It was praised for its handling, reliability, and relative affordability, making Italian sports car ownership accessible to a wider audience. However, by the early 80s, Fiat was shifting its focus towards more practical vehicles. And the Spider, despite its charm, was perhaps not given the marketing push it deserved. It even served as a significant inspiration for the first-generation Mazda MX-5, a testament to its enduring appeal and design. The Alfa Romeo SZ, or Sprint Zagato, is a truly distinctive and somewhat polarizing figure in the world of Italian sports cars. This limited production machine, built between 1989 and 1991, earned the nickname Il Mostro, the monster, from the Italian press due to its rather unique and angular aesthetics. In my opinion, while its looks might not be for everyone, it possesses a certain brutal charm and a purposeful stance that hints at its performance capabilities. Underneath that thermoplastic, injection-molded composite body, which was quite futuristic for its time, lies the heart of an Alfa Romeo 75, specifically a glorious 3-liter Busso V6 engine. This naturally aspirated 12-valve engine produced a healthy 207 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque, and could sprint from 0 to 60 in around 7 seconds with a top speed of 152 miles per hour. While these figures might not set the world on fire today, it was lauded for its exceptional handling, thanks to a chassis derived from the Alfa Romeo 75 Group A racing car. The SZ was an attempt to revive Alfa Romeo's sporting heritage after its acquisition by Fiat, drawing inspiration from the classic Giulietta Sprint Zagato. The market reception was initially mixed, perhaps due to its unconventional styling and the fact that it arrived during a downturn in the exotic car market, putting it in competition with discounted Ferraris and Porsches. Some might even say it was commercially unsuccessful at the time. However, it has since developed a cult following, appreciated for its rarity, unique design, and engaging driving experience.